Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Julie Chrisley's resentencing judge told her she doesn't get a pass from criminal conduct, despite having kids at home. The judge for Julie Chrisley's resentencing showed no leniency towards the former reality star. On Wednesday, September 25, the Northern District of Georgia judge sent a firm message to Chrisley Knows Best alum, 51, while resentencing her to the same 84 months of prison she previously received, deeming her original punishment was sufficient in the tax evasion and fraud case. During the hearing in downtown Atlanta, the judge said that she received letters from Julie's daughter Savannah Chrisley and many other members of the family, as well as a licensed therapist for Grayson, 18, and Chloe, 11. The judge explained that in her experience, most cases do involve people with young children at home, but many do not have the ability to provide the same resources, including access to therapy, as the Chrisleys do. I am concerned about the children, but with all due respect, you don't get a pass from criminal conduct because you're a parent, she said to Julie during the resentencing hearing. After noting that her sentence will not change, the judge resentenced the former reality star to 84 months. She also denied a request from Julie's attorney for her to self-report back to the jail in Kentucky after a 24-hour furlough. Before receiving her ruling, Julie, who appeared unrecognizable as she donned brown hair, addressed the court, including her eldest children Savannah and Chase Chrisley, through tears. She apologized for her prior actions and how the legal matter has impacted her family. I would like to say I've had years to think about what I've wanted to say, and I'm sorry for my actions in situations that led us to where we are today, Julie said before the court. I've had 20 months in prison, but it has been much more leading up to the trial, and I apologize for my actions that led to where we are today. I have done everything I can do to get closer to my family. I've taken tests for new skills, such as driving a forklift and serving food in proper ways. This has been the most difficult part of my life. I can't ever repay my children for what they've had to go through, and for that, I am so sorry, she added. The Chrisley family matriarch was previously sentenced in November 2022 to 7 years, while her 55-year-old husband, Todd Chrisley, received a 12-year sentence for fraud and tax evasion. Despite their appeals process beginning that December, they still reported to prison in January 2023. After their April 2024 appeal hearing, a judge granted Julie's appeal, vacating her 7-year sentence in June due to insufficient evidence. Todd's sentence was upheld. We're pleased that the court agreed that Julie's sentence was improper, but we're obviously disappointed that it rejected Todd's appeal, the Chrisley's attorney Alex Little told POPLE in a statement. With this step behind us, we can now challenge the couple's convictions based on the illegal search that started the case, Little added. The family appreciates the continued support they've received throughout this process, and they're hopeful for more good news in the future. On Monday, July 18, 2005, MPD responded to the report of a shooting in the 100 block of Wayne Place Southeast. There, they found a man who had been shot. He was taken to a hospital for treatment of life-threatening injuries. Last year, on October 3, 2023, 55-year-old Rodney Dixon of Southeast DC died due to the injuries he sustained 18 years prior. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner for the state of Maryland ruled his manner of death as a homicide. Anyone with information is asked to call MPD at 202-727-9099 or text the department's tip line at 50,411. A reward of up to $25,000 is offered to anyone with information that leads to the arrest and conviction of those responsible. Charged with murder of the third degree after killing his son during an argument, police stated. John Francis Gustites, 67, of Shepton, has been charged after investigators say he had an argument with his son over a vehicle that then escalated. Gustites was taken into custody and interviewed by troopers, where he stated around 8:30 a.m. he was woken up by his son, John Andrew Gustites, chasing one of their cats. As stated in the affidavit, Gustites went to the victim's room to take the cat, and his son demanded that Gustites give him the family's car. An argument over the vehicle continued, prompting Gustites to enter his son's bedroom with a .357 Magnum revolver, according to court documents. The victim grabbed a Phillips head screwdriver and approached Gustites when the gun went off, troopers stated. State police said Gustites didn't remember pulling the trigger and claimed he didn't call EMS until he watched religious videos throughout the day, which eventually led him to call police. Through further investigation, detectives learned that the victim suffered one gunshot wound to his face, and the bullet was discovered in the wall of the victim's bedroom. Along with third-degree murder, Gustites faces reckless endangerment, simple assault, and aggravated assault. Helly Mares, Iowa, KCAU, UPDAT. The Le Mars Police Department says a man died after an alleged shooting early Monday morning. According to a release, officers were called to 37 3rd Avenue Northwest on Monday, September 30 at about 2:32 a.m. for a possible disturbance. There, Miguel Martinez, 21, was reportedly found with wounds consistent of being shot. Martinez was declared dead at the residence by a medical examiner. Officials are still investigating the incident. No suspects were found at the scene, the police department said. Authorities said the scene is secure, adding that there is no active threat to the community. The Le Mars Police Department told KCAU9 that there is an ongoing investigation of the incident. Julie Chrisley stood in the cold, sterile courtroom, her heart pounding as she faced the judge. The gravity of the situation seemed to press down on her from all sides. The room was quiet, save for the occasional shuffle of papers and the muffled whispers between attorneys. This was no ordinary day in the life of the reality TV star. No, today was the day her fate would be sealed, a fate that had loomed large for months. The courtroom felt different this time. The air was thick with tension, and the once familiar faces of her legal team were shadowed by worry. Even her husband Todd, who had stood by her side through everything, appeared shaken, his usual confidence absent. Julie had always thought they'd get through it, that somehow their wealth, their fame, their connections would pull them out of the mire they found themselves in, but the weight of the charges was undeniable, and the truth was unavoidable. As the judge entered the room, everyone stood. His presence alone commanded respect. He wasn't here for entertainment or theatrics. He was here to serve justice. Julie felt a cold sweat form at the back of her neck. She had been through so many trials, financial troubles, family disputes, the media circus that followed her every move, but this was different. This was the moment that could change everything. Julie had hoped, even prayed, that the court might show her leniency, that her role as a mother to her children would soften the blow. After all, she had devoted her life to her family. Every decision, every sacrifice, was for them. She had worked tirelessly to give her kids the life she never had. Her reality TV persona, though often scrutinized, was built on this foundation, family first. But today she realized the law didn't care about her intentions. The law didn't see her sacrifices. It saw her actions. The judge's eyes were sharp as he looked down at her. "Mrs. Chrisley," he began, his voice steady but filled with an undeniable weight, "you stand before this court today asking for leniency, citing your role as a mother, as someone who cares for her children, but the law is clear. You don't get a pass from criminal conduct just because you have children at home." Julie felt her stomach drop. She had rehearsed this moment in her mind, convinced herself that she could plead her case, that the judge would see the human side of her, the side that was desperate to be there for her kids. She had hoped that her family responsibilities might be enough to sway the decision, but those words, "you don't get a pass," they echoed in her ears, louder and louder, until it was all she could hear. The judge continued, unwavering, "The fact that you have children is not lost on this court. I understand the importance of family, the burden that will be placed on your children in your absence, but this does not absolve you of responsibility for your actions." Julie wanted to speak, to cry out, to defend herself, but the words wouldn't come. She had always been so strong, so poised in the face of adversity. But now, in this moment, she felt small, powerless, like a ship caught in a storm with no anchor.